This is the secret of pizza dough, is how you build the gluten, not the recipe. Keep this in mind. Hello guys from Maestro Iacopelli, welcome back to my channel. Today this video is going to be super interesting. I'm going to bring you with me in this journey. I'm going to teach you everything about pizza. So make sure if you are interested in the pizza, sit down, watch it till the end. I want to see your comment below because this is gonna be the most interesting video and the most useful. You're going to understand everything. I'm going to teach you all the tips, the mistakes, why, and basically you are coming with me in this journey, and then I'm going to show you every steps that I do. I'm going to show you the mistakes, how to resolve it. So this video is going to be a super masterclass video by Maestro Iacopelli. But also go ahead and check out my online masterclass, link below or link in description if you want to learn everything A to Z. But this video is going to be the next level one. The first thing to do is we grab the Poolish. The question that you're gonna have, can we use Poolish directly from the fridge or we're gonna let it rest at room temperature? The Poolish can be used cold. This is how it looks like. We are sure that the Poolish is alive. By looking, we have to have these kind of bubbles. Okay, let's go ahead and let's prepare the dough.
Vito, what we do with the leftover dough?
Oh, that's a good question, guys. So we have leftover dough from this is from 4 days. First thing to do is, so we have to check if the dough is good. So what we do, we grab a piece, we open the center, and we check if it's strong. We smell. If you smell acid, this dough is not good. It doesn't smell acid, so it's not overproof. So we can basically use this. Now I teach you how to use leftover dough also, because we don't throw away anything. So basically we don't count the leftover dough. So you can go ahead and start to put everything in the mixer. How do you calculate it? So we have 4 liters. This is where it gets a little bit complicated. So let's say we want to make 100 pizzas. So we have to calculate how many pizzas we have. So the leftover dough, that's how it is. So we have 15. 15 is the calculation. Besides that, we are going to add in the leftover dough, because I'm going to do 4 days with this dough, 6 liters. Basically, you need to understand why and how, and then if I'm missing some mistakes, please, or if you're missing some question, comment below and let me know. So I'm gonna add the 4 liters of water, so this is the Poolish, and then I'm gonna add 2 liters, so we have a total of 6 liters. So I'm doing the full recipe. So we have 6 liters of water, 1.450 grams of flour times 6, minus the 4 kilos in the Poolish. So this is the leftover flour. And then 35 grams, this is very important, times 6. Again, don't pay attention of the leftover dough. That's is gonna give flavor to the dough. That's what it's gonna give. And it's gonna be our yeast, so it's gonna ferment it better and more naturally. So we have 35 grams times 6. So let's go ahead, and that's all you need. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna show you the orders how to make the dough. So let's go ahead, let's add in order, super important, the orders. Let's put the whole flour. So let's go ahead, speed number 1. This video is gonna be super helpful for you because you're gonna understand everything, no secret. So now we mix it for about just the time just to mix all together. Let's grab the old Poolish and let's put it in. It needs to be made 24 hours before. Poolish is in, speed number 1 again, and let it go for a little bit, just the time again to get all the dough together. Now prepare the water, the salt, and let's put the first only liter in the mixer, this way to build the gluten, because the gluten doesn't exist. We create the gluten, and this is how to create the gluten. Now let's wait a few minutes, the time that gets all together, and then we're gonna finish up the dough. And then I'm gonna explain you why the salt goes after. Now you'll notice that the gluten is starting to build, but it's still a dough super weak. This is happening because we're still gonna add the salt. So it's very important that you understand that the salt is what builds the gluten. So if you might forget to add the salt, it's always possible to add the salt after. I'm waiting, so we see that the dough, the Poolish and the water is all got to one point. Now this is the point to add the salt. And it's very important to add the salt after, when it's all together almost, because this way we don't risk to kill basically the yeast. So this is the reason why we add the salt now at this point. So let's go ahead, and little by little we're gonna add the salt. And you're gonna see that the dough in about I want to say 4 to 5 minutes is gonna start to become more strong, more elastic, and that's how you notice that we are building properly the gluten. Now we're gonna add the water a little bit on the sides here. This way we can catch the flour that is on the side. So, and keep in mind one thing, we're using the really, really cold water for a reason, to keep the dough cold. And this is another thing that you are learning today. So how do we know when to add the water? When the dough absorbs the water that we put. So let's say now it's time to add the water. So we go ahead and add the water on top of the dough. It's very important to add super little bit, otherwise the dough is gonna collapse. It's gonna have the mixer is gonna have trouble to make the dough. So that's why we put a little bit of water at a time. And another reason is to keep the dough cold. You don't want to pass 20 minutes, otherwise you're gonna burn the gluten, and adios amigos. Okay guys, so you might have one question right now. The dough, when it's nice, shiny and smooth, and it's all compact, like right now I can say this dough is gonna take about 2 minutes more, even if you don't finish the whole water. So we don't need any more water, because I noticed that the dough is ready. See, it's not smooth, it's not shiny. So 3, 2, 1, boom. The dough, it's lovely, ready. So I can see, I take off one piece, I taste it, and it's super strong. Doesn't collapse, and the dough, it's ready. So let's go ahead to the second step. You're gonna put a little bit of olive oil on the countertop. Otherwise, the dough is gonna get damaged. You're gonna damage the gluten, and take the dough out little by little. So like this. We grab a little bit at a time without pulling it. So you want to go ahead and chop the dough like the mozzarella, so you keep the dough nice and smooth. So we go ahead and we add the dough like this, piece by piece. Like you can see here, we are splitting the dough because it's too much. So it's gonna be way too heavy, because this step is really important. We're gonna go ahead and open it like this, and then flip it over like a folded, like a t-shirt. So like that, this, and like that. Now we want to go ahead and flip it over. That's the reason why we put the olive oil on the bottom. So go ahead and flip it over, and now we want to create a huge ball until it's nice and smooth. Like you can see, my hands are dry. So once we have the ball like that, go ahead, put a little bit of olive oil on top. The reason why we put olive oil on top is to not let it get dry. So that's the whole point. So now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do the same thing with this. We're gonna go ahead and let it rest for about, I wanna say 20 minutes. The time to get nice and relaxed, and then we can go ahead and make the balls. Okay guys, the dough, like you can see, is nice, relaxed. Now, same thing, tap, olive oil in your hands, scale, like you can see, Lori's got the scale, because you need to scale the dough. It's super important, 280 grams, and they need to be all the same, because if the weight is wrong, your pizza is gonna be small, big. So, like you can see, something really important is press. It's very important to cut the dough the side of the ball. So you cut and you put the dough in. Like you can see, this is the gluten structure, and you want to keep this in the ball. So this is how you make it. See, you want to keep this part on top all the time. So, like you can see, that's how we make the ball. You go ahead, put the dough in, and then you cut, chop. Otherwise, you're gonna damage the gluten structure. So then you keep it there for a few minutes. You go ahead, close it using the counter. It's very important that you close the ball and then put it inside the box. Like this and like that. It needs to have about 2 fingers apart, and that's how we make the balls. So let's go ahead, let's finish up the balls, and then I'm gonna get you another really important tip. Hey guys, here we go. We got the whole dough done. I wanna show you something. This is the dough, how it looks like. So what we're looking for, really important, that this dough double up the size. So it needs to be all these spaces. You don't wanna see any more of these spaces. So that's how we notice that the dough is ready. You need to keep the dough at room temperature until it get double up the size. Then you have 2 options. Or you use it, or you keep it in the fridge for 2 to 3 days, max 4 days. And that's good for all these days. That's why we make it all of this dough, because it's good. We're gonna open for 4 days. So we're gonna go ahead and wait about 2 hours, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge because it's 1 o'clock right now. We're gonna open it tonight at 7. And then I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna tell you a couple other tips, when to take it out from the fridge, how to use it, what temperature it needs to be, and all of these things. Now it's time to go ahead, share this video, smash a like, and comment below if you have any question. I'll see you later. Okay, here we go, guys. It's about 7 p.m. We are about to open. I want to show you and talk to you about the oven first. So we set up the oven at 370, 400 Celsius on the top, and about 300 on the bottom. Let's go ahead and let's see the dough, because I put it in the fridge. 2 things I want to talk about the dough, which is this. Let me get it right now. Let me show you. So like you can see, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the oven right now, in the fridge right now. Okay, this is the dough. I want to show you how the dough is ready. At this point is when the dough is ready to use. So because I also made extra for tomorrow and after tomorrow, I'm gonna keep this in the fridge. So I was waiting about, I wanna say 4 hours. And then at this point, I went inside the fridge and then I put it in the fridge. That's for tomorrow, so I'll keep it in the fridge. Now this is the dough that I already tried to use it. See, look at this. This is actually, you can see better here. This is the dough that it's ready to use. This is the perfect point of fermentation, and this is how the dough is supposed to look like. Now, if the dough is flat, if the dough is, let's see if it's flat first. The dough, you messed up with the yeast. Your yeast is dead. I made another video about it. Then, if the dough have bubble on top a lot, it's about to overproof. So my suggestion is to keep it in the fridge right away. So now the question is, can I use the dough right away from the fridge and making it? Well, no. You have to always keep the dough outside for about 30 minutes or so. This way you want to have the dough, the crust nice and perfect. So let's go ahead and I think more question, no? Okay, let's go ahead and let's make the first pizza, and then let's make the pizza actually and see. Let me explain you all the details about making the pizza, because this is the point of making the pizza. Here we go. So the most important step is you need to have a spatula. So this is the dough. I'm gonna grab this one. Let me show you. So put a lot of flour. Make sure you cut and put the dough inside. Cut and put the dough inside. Cut and put the dough inside. Now with a little bit of flour, we pinch it. Now more flour, and then we grab the dough, boom, like that, one shot. And then we go entirely with the dough upside down in the flour. So now we go ahead, we grab the dough, we put a little bit of flour. We make sure it's not wet, because if it's wet, you're gonna make a mess. So we go ahead, put a little bit of flour in the center, and then we go ahead and we put the dough with the top part on top. So the top part needs to be on top. We go ahead and we press. We try to press the air to the crust. So now why the top stays on top? Because this is how you keep the air on the crust. Now you measure the whole dough, one and the other, and then take off all the flour, and then always keep the dough, the top part on top. Now tap, 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 and pull. Tap, 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 and pull. Once you have about 10 inches, one end like this, lift it up, and then you find the spot, and then boom. You don't touch it anymore. You have to first put the sauce in the bottom before putting the mozzarella. And then at this point, you need to be fast because the pizza will stick. So try to be fast. Then put the tomatoes. This pizza is gonna be special, not too much ingredients. So you wanna spread everything, not everything on the center. So you wanna spread about the whole pizza. And then we put the Parmesan cheese, fresh mozzarella. Once you have tomato, then I like this pizza to put some ragu. Not too much, just a little bit. You want to keep the dough, the pizza light. A step super important. Now, watch this. If the pizza is thick, it might be thick, you want to put a little bit of flour and use the spatula and go around and put flour under. You put the flour under, you pinch it, and then move the pizza on the flour, like that. See, that part here is sticky because I'm making a video, so it got stuck. That's why you need to be fast. Now, you keep the pizza small, grab the peel. We're using a nice pala per pizza, the pizza peel, with a hole. So you pinch it, all the pizza, and then bring the peel under the pizza, like that, gently. Then move it a little bit. Make sure it's not sticky, then pinch it, make the pizza bigger as the peel is, and then fix all the ingredients. Now, we want to go ahead super fast in the oven, and then look how I put the pizza in the oven. One shot, find the spot, leave it down, then boom, one shot. So, it's very important. Now we cook it for about, I want to say, 1.5 minutes without changing spot, because if you're changing spot, you will burn the bottom of the pizza. So make sure I check out my Instagram page because I put so many tips on there. The name is Vito Iacopelli, and check it out because you can learn some stuff. Keep in mind one thing, always keep the peel outside the oven, because if you keep the peel inside, once you turn the pizza will get stuck on the peel, and then it's gonna burn the pizza on the bottom. Okay, the pizza is ready. Like you can see, the pizza is soft and crunchy. Now, what I like to do is to put a little bit of olive oil on the crust. This way, it makes it nice. The bottom of the pizza, it's lovely and perfect. I put the pizza on top of this grill. This way, the vapor goes from the top, also goes from the bottom. So we keep the pizza a little bit here, and then we go ahead and we move the pizza on the plate, and when we can go ahead and finish up the pizza. And we cut the pizza, just like that. I like to use the scissors because I want to show you one thing, why we use the scissors. Because this video is just to explain you everything, why, and I'm here to show you the reason. The reason why we cut with the scissor is to make the dough look nice. You know, you can keep all the crust. You can show the perfect pizza. Now, to finish this pizza, I'm gonna go ahead and add some fried basil on top. In the center, we go ahead and we put just a little bit of fresh basil. So, and then we're gonna put on top a nice little bit of dry ricotta, just to show you. And the pizza, it's lovely, perfect. Guys, this was everything about making the pizzas. If you have any questions, please comment below because I'm going to, hopefully I didn't miss anything. Please let me know if you have some question, and then thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe.